There's no point in doing art if you're not doing it for yourself. That's the bottom line. That's always the place that you got to come from, is the source, the center, like you, like what you're feeling and how you want to express it. And that's the hardest part, is being very clear and unaffected so you can tap into that source and just let it come out of you.
You're an ordinary boy, yeah. That's the way I like you.
Hi, I'm Adalita.
Hi, I'm Raul.
And we're from Magic Dirt. Well, yeah, I mean, the mood of the record, how it actually came about was I came out of a pretty dark place personally, and I was kind of sick of all the dark shit, and I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I just want to write some pop uplifting stuff for myself. I wasn't even thinking of the future or an album with Magic. Well, I was, but you know, I guess we'd said, yeah, let's keep going. But at that point, I was like just over all this turmoil in my life, and I was like, okay, I want to be happy. And that's how songs like Dirty Jeans, Super Glue, all the real pop-tastic stuff came about. And I didn't consciously plan it. Well, I just had a feeling I really wanted to be uplifted. We were like right into Atari Teenage Riot and like
hip hop and
all that stuff, and we were at home just home recording and doing the
smashing
beats.
Shit on the 4-track with 808s and
and just
doing just weird shit.
That's right. We were super creative, super like just pumping stuff out, and then What a Rock Star is kind of just just came out of all this sort of great chaos at home and being so productive. How do we feel now, 20 years later? I feel really good. Like, it's such a great record. It's really different to all the other records we've done. And it was our first major label release, like the first time Magic Dirt were ever on a major... Well, no, we were with US.
Yeah.
Warner in the US, but that
was licensed out.
Yeah, that was licensed. So it was an entirely different experience with Warner Australia. But it was like major label, and there was a lot of money back then. You know, the momentum for rock music was still huge back then, so we were in the right place, right time.
I listened to the record this morning, and I think it's awesome. I think it's a fantastic record because it totally captures a band that is in the moment of letting go of some of the past, and you know, really like, we're going to do something that we're going to be, I don't know, proud of, and we're not, you know, there's no fear. There wasn't any fear in the band of, you know, oh, what will they say? We didn't give a fuck.
We were kind of fearless in what we were doing, not consciously, but just that's how we always operated was, yeah, we just don't really care what anybody else thinks. We're just in our sort of bubble and creating what, you know, what we like, what makes us happy. And that's kind of the space we were in.
I reckon What a Rockstar is doing today is probably the most experimental record that Magic Dirt did. You know, sure, it doesn't have this kind of gushing, you know, almost monochromatic sound that Friends in Danger and Young and Full of the Devil kind of has, but it's definitely way more experimental for us as a band. And, you know, we did that just because... yeah, it gets pretty... It's not very rebellious to do the same thing over and over.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Dirty Jeans is the most punk rock song we've ever done. Like, and some of the dark shit we've done, when you listen to it, it's like, well, it's so heavy. And yeah, it is experimental in its own way. But for us, Dirty Jeans was absolutely punk rock.
Yeah.
Like, it was
the most subversive thing we could do.
Yeah, and people reacted really strongly, which was like, we didn't even care, like, as in some people reacted negatively to it, like, oh, they've sold out, they've gone pop. And it's like, we just didn't give a shit. And
and that says a lot more about them than it does about us.
Yeah, my favourite single is Pace Set. I love the video, but live is one of my favourite songs to play. It's so powerful, it's got so many great parts, and When We're Tight, and that song, When We're Tight, that song just nails it, and we get a huge reaction, and it's just a real live set mainstay.
I'll go City Trash. Like, I think that song has just got this drive, which we can't quite get live, so we don't play it very often. But the recording of it is just, it's just got all these bits that just keep going and going and going. It's kind of this relentless, frantic energy.
Dirty Jeans would have to be one of my other favourite singles, and because Raul came up with that line in it, the sort of Hawaiian sounding, and when you hear it on its own, it's like, that is so like almost daggy. Like, what is that? Like, it's so poppy and so, it's not Magic Dirt. But then when it's in the song and it's all together, people just reacted so well to that song. We had no idea that would be a hit. No idea. Not a single idea. But I think Dean did. Because the story about that song coming about is Dean and I used to sit and go through my little cassettes, my demos of songs. And I was trying to show him something one day, and we accidentally landed on the Dirty Jeans demo I did, which was just me fucking around on a riff, you know. And I said, oh no, not that one, and went to fast forward, and Dean's like, no, let's listen to that one. That one sounds good. And I'm like, it's nothing. So Dean saw the potential in the song from the very beginning. He was a very good producer. So without Dean, that song wouldn't have come about. So he picked it and just massaged it into place, you know. He sort of produced it, you know. So if I hadn't have stopped on the wrong bit on the cassette, that wouldn't have come about. I wouldn't be sitting here. We wouldn't be talking about What a Rock Stars, you know. Having fun, doing our thing, put it out there, see what happens. Great, it went great. Let's all hang out and, you know, have fun together. It's really no more complicated than that. But, you know, obviously it's how you get there, how you make it happen, and that's the bit that is a lot of hard work that people don't see. You know, they don't see the huge iceberg, you know, bit under the iceberg, and the huge behind the scenes, all the big machine that goes into it, you know, everything that happens around that. It's a lot of hard work that not every band or every artist is up for that task. So we worked really hard on that record, and yeah, just really happy with it. It's a great little release, and it did a lot for us.